Good morning. Thanks for watching Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're back out here where we clearing for the house site and pretty much got it all, the brush down like a little bit, pushing it over that bluff over there. Only thing I can say is I'm glad the wind wasn't out of the south. I'd have had to been pushing all that. It was fogging up enough with the wind behind me across the way I was pushing, but it opened it up anyway because I turned the highways down there about a mile, and you can see up through here. I could see the reflection off that Dozer, so he's going to have a nice view from his home. He'll have to do some of them trees and to kind of open that up a little bit, but you wouldn't want to open it up a whole lot so the world sees you. So, but the road's just right there. So anyway, I've got may do a little elevation shooting this morning and kind of figure out where to get him a spot here leveled up. When you're coming up the hill, this area right in here looks like it's pretty good. Chances are I'm going to have to cut that down and just if this is the level I'd like, I just got to cut that down to the level of this is and try to get him 100-foot square here. Then they can situate the house in there however they want to put it in here, and I can just take that dirt and blend it off these hills and down the edges and everything. And I'd rather have the house sit on top of cut ground than to have to fill 2 foot on, cut 2 foot on one side and fill 2 foot on another. He's on top of a hill, so it's high enough to begin with, so be just about as easy, and guy could kind of fill some of that in where the house is not going to sit. So anyway, we're going to figure that out this morning while it's cool, and let y'all see that when we figure out what we're going to do. I did some elevation, got some elevation shots, and I knew I didn't want that house to go too much farther than the stakes with the ribbon on there, because that would have been a tremendous fill. His house is plenty tall. It's not down in a hole, so if I had to, I could cut 5 foot off of this hill and still be tall enough, but I don't have to do that. But the sucker rods with the ribbon is the same elevation all the way around this hill. Of course, you can see from down here, there's a pretty good hump between here and that stake over there. But anyway, about all I've got to do, and everything outside of those stakes won't be no house pad or nothing, and I can just blend that dirt off the top of this hill all the way around, and then just make everything on top of this hill that elevation from the stakes with the ribbons on there up to the here. Now here where this hay bale is, now that's high plumb out there a good little ways, but I'll just cut that down and slope it down and level it off, and still just take the dirt and push it off this hill and dress it off and everything. So that's going to average about a 2 foot cut over this area here, which is not a whole lot of dirt, but it'll have everything cut off down the hard ground. It'll have all the roots cut out and whatever else is down here. I believe right here used to be an old barn or something. There's a few pieces of tin and rocks piled around it, and I seen some pieces of glass, so there used to be something right here, which that'll be cut out, so won't have to worry about that. And there'll just be a 6-to-1 slope coming down into this cut, and then he's still got plenty of room. The flags is roughly the center line of the house, east and west, north and south, so they can fit this house. They can twist it around a little bit. He'll have over 100-foot square leveled off, so I think the house is 70 by 80, so they can twist it any way they want to and still not run out of room, and won't be on top of any fill, so that's going to work. He didn't really want the well house and the well in front of his house, which it'll be off to the northeast corner of it, and so it won't be in no view everything. And I got to looking, he could take out about 3 of those trees or cut them down or something, then them short ones right there, and that'd really open up that view of his field down in the bottom. So I think that's the plan. So I'm going to finish pushing them few piles of stuff off of the hill there, and then that's all that'll go off the hill. The rest of it will just be blended around the edge of this hill. It'll be a semicircle, so it's going to be pretty easy cutting it out. So then that'll be That'll get them something. Then he can wait till it gets wet and starts raining, and before they do anything to the top of this old sandy hill, I mean, it'll soak up more water than you can haul up here. So we'll just let Mother Nature do that. So anyway, we'll start pushing that stuff off the edge of the hill, then we're going to start cutting this thing to grade. got quite a bit of that cut out today. I think I get it tomorrow. I got to catch myself when I get to that flag line where them ribbons are, I think I'm building a tank dam, and I want to raise up my blade and start getting it up higher, which it's higher right now than I want it, but it's so far pushing it down to the back. I'm going to wait till I get all this cut out on grade, and then I'll just back up to the where them ribbons are and push that down the hill. Most of it's on this back side. I ripped it. I hate ripping it because I'll cut more than I want to, but it's so dadgum hard you can't cut it. So like that little old point right there, and some of that around there, and kind of smooth it up. When I start cutting that back down where I put that dirt, I'll start going down the slope with it. I don't want it just to go out there and drop off. I don't want to look like he's on the edge of a cliff. I want a nice slope, and then he may plant coastal back there, and he needs to plant something back there, kind of hold that loose dirt on there, but it'll start shaping up tomorrow. Sometimes I'll hit a little moisture, then it'll get hard again. So anyway, that's all we're gonna do today, fixing the head to the house. So thanks again for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, we should do that. Help this channel grow, and share it with all your friends and everything. And like any comments or questions you might have, try to get them answered. So till we're back out here tomorrow, remember, keep your blade shining and your tracks clean. Bye. get the dozer from the house pad. I thought it might show up from the road, but I don't know, it's awful hard to see. But if you look from the road over the first little old opening where you can see brown right in the middle of it, that's the house pad that we just finished, or the leveling off or the house pad. I thought I might be able to see the dozer, but I parked it probably too far to the right of that, so you can't see it. But that's where it's at, on top of that hill. We'll show you a little bit more of that when we get up to it to pick the dozer up. When it looked this late yesterday when I finished it. Too dadgum hot to stand outside and do a bunch of pictures. See a little bit of yellow up there, that's it. Looks pretty good from down here. It'll look better when there's a house like that. Okay, got through the gate and left the gate post standing, so that's a good thing. You'd think by looking that this coastal patch here is smooth, but they got a lot of trouble with gophers around here, and they'll dig their hole and leave a little mound of dirt under it, and the grass will grow over it. And they say it's really rough when you're swathing it and trying to bale it. They're real bad out here in this sand for doing that. I imagine if it had been a little bit wetter year, you'd have seen the mounds of dirt up, but like I say, I don't even know if it's rained on this spot this summer yet, the way the landowner was talking. So get turned around and show you a little bit.
Got out of the rough truck.
a whole lot smoother walking around than it is driving. But when you stand here and look at that, it looks like the farther you get on the other side of the pad is starting going uphill, but that's just an illusion. When you're looking off into space like that, when you're on top of a hill that's level, then it starts going downhill. So it's not higher than the pad, it's level, and then it starts going downhill. And if I've cut terraces trying to drain them off a hill like that, and you look at the end of the terrace and you just swear it's going uphill, but it's not. It's just a optical illusion, because if you'll put a level on it, it's going downhill. And if you keep trying to cut it downhill, you'll finally get a trough through there where that's what you don't want. But where I back drug is basically where they can situate the house. Like they got, like I say, 30 foot of room around there. They can twist it any way they want to. And then where I didn't back drag, that's the slope going down that hill. I didn't want to back drag it. It'll get to blowing. This is probably going to get to blowing, but it's hard ground, so it's roughed in so they can get in there and get what they need to do. And then when they get the house situated somewhere here, when they get the house built, they'll want topsoil and dirt back around it, because the house will probably be 1.5 feet, a foot higher than that ground there that's leveled off. So I think it's going to be a barn dominium 10 and everything, so they'll like that hard ground around it where they can drive their forklift and stuff in. But once the house is situated, this will be cut down up here to a certain point, and that dirt will be put around the house. That'll be good topsoil. No use digging it out and piling it up somewhere and letting it dry out. Just leave it right like it is. And then when he decides where his road will be coming into his house, it'll probably stay on top of this ridge all the way down to where we come in down there. And then I don't know which side of the house they're going to go in, at the front, the end, or whatever. So that'll kind of get the ball rolling and give them a level place to work and everything. And so they got plenty of room to work. They can move the house 20-30 foot either direction and still be on top of cut ground. I didn't want them to be on top of anything that was filled. So you can see that slope where I benched it coming into here, but you can peel that back and it won't be as drastic as it is right now. Then here's the dirt that was cut out. I just pushed it down the hill here and kind of walked it in, and he's got a tractor and a drag. He's gonna bring a drag over here and kind of drag it around and plant some grass or some wheat on it, and then next spring either plant some coastal on it, get it all leveled up. But like I say, that'll get the ball rolling, get them going. There's where we push the dirt, the brush off over the hill. But everything will be on cut ground where the house is, and come out here so they can, and we might blend this out a little bit more. Just wait till they kind of get the house situated where they want it. But anyway, we're fixing to load up the dozer and probably go dig another pond. Gonna stop by the yard and blow all the dust and wash the radiator out again. That seems like that's something every job now you got to do. It's just last 3 months it's been like that, just dust, hot weather and dry conditions. So anyway, thanks again for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, wish you'd do that. Hit the like button, share it with all your friends, and enjoy your comments and feedback and everything. So till the next project, remember, keep your blade shiny and your tracks clean. Bye. Thanks for watching Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're back out on the house pad that we cut here last week, or finished up last week. Back out here, I finished the tank that I went and did when I left here, and the owner decided to move the house pad to the north. That way he would have more flat place before it went off of the hill. That flag right there was the center of the house. Now this row of stakes is the back of the house, and the center is right up here on the top edge of the dirt and the grass, and then the front of the house is 50 foot into that hill again. So I've got to start cutting that out some more, the hill. And I'm basically going to take my dirt and spread it off the hill both sides. I don't need no more back here in the back where I went off that hill. I've just got to level this up. Everything's going to be this level that I've already got cut into that hill, then slope it back. It's cheaper to move dirt than it is to move a house, I guess, so might as well get it right like he wants it before he starts it. So that'll give him a little bit more room on the back side, and I still got a pretty good cut up here, but I can blend the dirt off of this hill here. And this well, that'll be cut down, but it'll about be in the front of the right on the edge of the front of the house will be in line with that. Then I'll try to slope this back some, the approach to the house. So a lot of this dirt can go off toward where them hay bales are. That's a pretty good little old hole there. I did my surveying a while ago, and it's getting plenty warm, and I got some marks around where where I can zero out and start cutting, spreading the dirt out. So I'm gonna do that. But it might go pretty quick, I don't know. It's just, I don't have to push dirt plumb to the back of that hill, so that'll help. Try to square this up where it don't look like it's going to be in the hole, or the spot where the house will be bigger and flatter, so it won't look like it's such a tight spot. They're more interested in the back of the house instead of the front, so they'll be spending most of their time out in the back. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'll find a spot to set the camera up. I may set it on that tripod, and that'll kind of show everything. I don't know how much dirt's going to be blowing, but I bet it will be. So we'll let y'all see some of that here just a little bit. For watching Dunsmore Moving Dirt. Yes, I done got my bandana on, so it's already hot. I've been surveying and resetting my stakes on the pad, and finished kind of dressing off the inside of the pad this morning. So I did my elevation shooting and everything, and I got it close enough. I was shooting for an average elevation of 6.2, and I've got it at 6.23, so 3/100ths over of a 1/10 over what I was wanting. But I'm not gonna mess with it because it's just powder. That's all it is. And I mean, there's 1 to 2/10ths of dirt that's just powder, and the more I run over it, the worse it gets. I moved my stakes in. I started off 100 by 100 square, and I've set my stakes in now so I can slope this bank back around on 3 sides, and what's the staked off now is 90 by 90. The house is going to be roughly 80 by 70, so they still got room. They can jiggle it around and kind of got things square with the world and square with the road over there. So about all they got to do is start doing their stuff on the inside. I'm going to cut this back on the outside. I'm not going to cut it down to the elevation of that right there, because if I do, I'm going to be bringing dirt back in on the final grade after the house is up, going up to the house and then draining it back. So I think I'm going to cut it to within from a half a foot to a foot higher than it is in the pads, because you'll know the finished floor of the house is going to be up 10 inches or so, I guess. So, but until they figure that out, there's no sense moving dirt twice out here, pushing it all the way off the hill, turning around and grading it back up to the elevation of the finished floor. So I'm just going to trim that up around the edges and get some of it down, so I don't need it all to go around the house. There'll be quite a bit I can put behind the house back where I worked last time, because we've moved the house north. So I'm going to try to work some of this dirt down both sides, just leave it high. No use to worrying about on the outside of the house now. That'll come later when we start putting the finishing touches on everything. So that's what we're going to be doing. I thought about setting the camera up close where I'm going to be working, but it's just going to be a cloud of dust up here on the north end of this. So I think I'll put the camera downwind and it'll run till it gets hot. So now it's 95 degrees right now, and it's not quite 10 o'clock in the morning. We're supposed to be 110, 111 today. We was at yesterday, just miserable out here when you's out trying to do some surveying and stuff. So hopefully next week things start to change. I think everybody's ready for cooler weather and hopefully wetter weather. So I think the high next week is going to be anywhere between 80 and 90. 2 days we got a pretty good chance of rain. So good Lord knows that we've stood about all we can stand. So it's probably going to start changing. Everybody's hoping. It's been a hard summer for everybody and everything around here. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We'll set the camera up back down here on the low end of this, and that way the wind will be blowing away from the camera and blowing the dust away from it, and let y'all see some of that when we get started.